Okay, hi, it's Kathy again. We're on video number 3 of our final project. We have all the walls in, and now I'm going to show you the best method for adding the windows and doors. And I've already brought in a door and a window from the dynamic blocks in the Design Center, which I highly recommend you use them. And if you notice on your floor plan, all of your windows are 36 inches wide. So if we have this dynamic block, we can select it. And if you grab this right hand arrow, you can see that these blocks, when we brought them in, were already 33 feet, 36 inches long or wide. And you can actually adjust these to different sizes. And that's what's great about the dynamic blocks. But we can leave this one actually right at 3 feet. The other thing that adjusts on the dynamic blocks is the size of the wall that it would sit in. So if I select this, this is going to be where I can move it from, okay? But if I select this upper arrow, it'll tell me that it's already set up for 4-inch wall. And if I drag it up, I can go from 6 to 5 to 4. Now I need 6-inch walls, so I'm going to drag this up until it says 6 and click. If I hit escape, now you can see that the wall areas are set to the correct wall width that I'm using. The other thing that I'm going to do to just make this a lot easier to insert into my plan is I'm going to create a rectangle around the window. So I'm going to make it its own piece, leaving the dynamic block inside of there. Now I can do a copy or a move tool. So let's do a copy to start with. And I can select this whole thing, and I can look for the midpoint. So I want to grab the midpoint of the bottom of the window here, and I want to move it over and find the intersection of my construction line and the wall. Right now my F8 is on, so it's looking like it won't match up, but I can turn off my F8, and then it will find that intersection and click, and it places that window exactly where I need it. The next window is at the 6-foot construction line. I can click again and enter. Okay, so I have 3 more windows to add down at the front of the cabin, but I don't have those construction lines added yet, so because these construction lines are for the upper part, so I do need to add those in. So I'm going to do the construction line setup again. So construction line, we have vertical, and this is actually going to be an offset, so let's do that again. So construction line, offset, and the offset distance is going to be 5 feet, and I'm offsetting this line over. Notice that I'm in the Windows layer right now, so I can tell the difference between the construction lines that are the old ones and the new ones that I'm trying to put in. And then I'm going to repeat that offset command, and this time I want to offset 3 foot 3. Sorry, offset 3 foot 3, and I'll offset this line. So now I know my windows go here, and then there's another window over here that is 5 feet away from the other end. So offset 5 feet, and I'll grab this construction line and offset it there. So another way to be able to tell the difference between one set of construction lines and the other. So copy, find that midpoint, and match that up with the construction lines that I just created. And now I have my windows in place for the other part of the cabin. Okay, and I'm going to do a match properties to change those construction lines that I put in back to the construction line layer. And so finally we have to put in some doors. And again, we have that dynamic block. So if we select the door itself, we can adjust the size wall that it goes into. 5 inches is what we want. And we can adjust the size of the door. So it can go from a 3-foot 4-inch door down to a 2-foot door. And we know that we need 2 2-foot doors and 2 2-foot 6 doors and 1 3-foot door. So we'll be adjusting these as we go along. So I'm going to leave it at the 2 feet. And that one will work for our closet doors. One goes here and one goes here. So what is the best way to put in these closet doors? My suggestion is to use the center point of this closet back wall and the center point of this closet back wall. So I'm just going to use, again, a construction line, but I'm going to use a line on the construction layer, but it's just going to be a regular line. So I'm going to find that midpoint and drag that out. And then I'm going to find this midpoint and drag that out. I should have my ortho on my F8, but I don't. So make sure that you have that on so that you have straight lines. Then we're going to offset this 1 foot in each direction. And that's going to create your door opening. And I can go ahead and trim. And then I can do a match property to change those lines to wall lines. And we'll do the same thing on this side. Offset 1 foot to both sides. Trim. And I'm trimming away all the lines that I don't need. I can go ahead and erase this line. And then I can do a match properties to change those to wall lines. Now I have the locations for my 2 closet doors. And I'm going to select this door, rotate the door so that it's going in the correct direction, which means it needs to be going this way. Again, F8 ortho on will guarantee that you get your door in a straight location or a straight orientation. Let's just make sure we have 5-inch door. We do. So now I can do the move command and move this door right there, and everything's in the right place. Looks good. Now, this is not in the 90-degree position. So if we select the dynamic door and we select this little double arrow here, we can open it to the 90-degree position, and then it looks like the plan. So let's get the door in over here. Again, remember I said that once you brought in your block that you could always insert another one from your insert blocks area because now it's part of your drawing. So we do want to make sure that we are in the door layer, insert, and grab that door. And we're going to want to get it in the correct orientation. We want to put it on this side. And we're going to be rotating it. And we're going to be adjusting it. So first let's place it. Make sure that we have it set for a 5-inch wall. Make sure that it is set for a 2-foot door. And then we'll do a rotate. Select the entire door with rotate. Select this as our rotation point. And again, if we have ortho on, it will rotate properly into the right spot. And then select your dynamic door and open it to 90 degrees. So now we have both of our closet doors in, and we need to put our bedroom doors in next. So the bedroom doors have a 4-inch trim area before the door starts, here and here. So what we can do in this case is to first go to the wall layer and then choose the line command. And I'm going to just draw a line right here, and then I'll be moving and copying that line. So this line will move in 4 inches. So move, select the line, base point, drag your cursor up, type in 4, enter. And then we can copy it. So we select the line again, the copy command, pick the first point, drag your cursor up, and this is 2'6", that's the door opening. Enter. And then we can trim. So you can select both of those small lines, trim, and now you have your door opening. And we'll do the same thing for this side. So again, the process was in the wall layer, click the line tool or command, create a straight line. And now we want to make sure that we do get the perpendicular. So we can go down to here and select perpendicular as our snap. And once we see the perpendicular tool, we enter. And then we're going to move this line over 4 inches. Select our base point, drag our cursor in the direction we want to go, hit 4, enter. And then we'll copy that. So copy command, select that line, select our base point, drag our cursor. Remember, we have our ortho on. Drag our cursor in the direction we want to go and type in 2'6", enter. So now we've created, and then we can escape. We've created another area where our door opening is going to go, and now we can trim. Select the 2 lines and trim away the door opening. So we've got our 2 door openings. It looks like we have a third door that's 2'6", and that's at the bathroom. So we'll do the same process. Select the line tool, line command, draw our line, move our line in 4 inches. Sorry, move command, select the base point, drag our cursor in the direction we want to go, 4 inches, enter, and then copy, select that line, endpoint, drag our cursor in the correct direction, 2'6", enter, trim. So now our door opening is ready for our door. We can go to the insert block, bring our door in. But before we do that, oops, we were on the wall layer. So let's go ahead and finish the process. This door hinge is supposed to be here. So I'm going to put it here, and then we'll rotate and fix it later. So I want to select the door, and I want to select the correct layer. Make sure it ends up on the correct layer. And now I'm going to make sure that the wall thickness is set to 5. Make sure that my door is actually set to 2'6", right here. And now I can rotate it into place. So rotate command, select the door, select the rotation point, and if I'm in my ortho mode, it will place it in the correct location. And then again, we want to put this into the 90-degree. All right, so this one's set up correctly. I could possibly copy it, or I could go through that whole process again, bringing the door in from the dynamic block. So let's see what would happen. Let's go ahead and copy this door. And we're going to select this base point and where the hinge would be. And we know that it's going to hinge right here. And we also know that this one's going to hinge right here. So we can place those doors and then rotate them correctly. So rotate command, select the door, select the hinge area, and rotate it into the correct orientation. And repeat that command, select the hinge area, rotate it into the correct location. Now we have those doors in. Finally, our last door would be our front door. So for our front door, I have all these construction lines. I'm not sure which one. I think it's supposed to go here. Makes sense, but why don't I put a string of dimensions in just to make sure. So change to our dimension layer. And we're going to start from the left-hand side over to the center of the window. And drag that dimension down. And then I'm going to continue dimensioning. So in the Annotate tab, I can click on Continue. And I'm just going to go to the center of this window, 3'3". And then the next one was 4'5". So I can see that I don't have that construction line in yet. So I'm going to stop my dimension string and add the correct construction line. So offset. Let's see what layer I'm in. At the moment, I'm in the dimensions layer. So let's switch to construction line layer. Offset. And I want to offset that last construction line 4'5". Grab that and offset. So it's going to be the one on the right hand side here. So now I can continue my dimension string, go back to dimensions, dimension starting here, and dimension to there. I can match that up. And I can also go to the Annotate tab and click on Continue, and it will let me continue dimensioning to the rest of the plan. So those dimensions are on the dimension layer. These are on the dimension layer. I can leave those because those are correct, and I can always turn them off if I don't want to see them. So my door is going to go right here. This is the center of my door, which means that I'm going to offset that door 1 foot 6 inches to each side because it's a 3-foot door. So offset 1 foot 6 inches. And then trim. And so I do have my door opening now, and I can do a match property in the Home tab, match property, and I want to match the wall to these end lines. Now if I want to see what this is starting to look like, I can always go up and turn off my construction lines, and I'll get a clearer view of what my plan is starting to look like. So I'm going to place the new door right here. I'm going to go to the Insert Block. Oh, let's make sure we're in the right layer. So change my dimension layer to doors first. Insert Block, grab the door, and I want to place it right here. It's being fickle on me, so I'm going to place it outside of the door opening first, and then I'm going to adjust it. So this needs to be 6 inches to 6-inch wall, and this needs to be 3-foot door. And then I can go ahead before I even place it and change it to the 90-degree opening. And then I'll move it into place. So the Move command, select the bottom of the door there, match it up with the bottom of the wall. So it looks as though I may have made a mistake when I offset or when I trimmed, and for whatever reason, this, let me just double check that it's 3 feet. This doesn't match up with my door opening. So let's see where we went wrong. Turn on my construction lines, and it looks as though if I offset this line versus this one. So I may have offset the wrong line. Yes, I offset the wrong line. So what we'll do is we'll do the stretch command, which is something that is pretty cool. So let me turn off my construction lines one more time. And I want to move my door over because I know really the correct location is here. And now since I've already trimmed this, we're going to do what's called stretch. So type in S for stretch command, and then you want to just select selection box from right to left around the end of that wall. Enter. Select the point the base point, and then you drag it straight with the ortho on to the new point. So I've just stretched the wall over to match up with where the correct location of that door should be. Okay, and then the final door that we need to put in is for the laundry or the linen closet or whatever this little thing is here. And it looks like it's a bifold door. There are bifold doors available in the design center. They're not dynamic blocks, however. So, and you would have to do what's called a scale to scale it to the correct size. Or you can draw your own. So in this case, we're going to create the opening first. And again, go to your wall layer, line, and you can create lines on both sides here, and then we'll move them over 4 inches each. So move, select the line, base point, drag it in the correct direction, type in 4, enter. Oops. And then select this one, base point, drag it in the correct direction, 4, enter. Trim. And let's measure this to see how big the opening ends up being. So it's 1'4". So that's actually 16 inches, and half of 16 inches would be 8. So if you're going to make your own door, you would be making a bifold door that was, turn off your ortho, that is 8 inches by 8 inches. And that would be the only door that would fit there. So if you go ahead and make a symbol, you can actually, Control Z, I'm going to remove that. Start with one line, and I'm going to go at 60-degree angle. I want it to be 8 inches. And then I'm going to mirror it. So mirror, select that one line. Enter. Now you could have it at a less of an angle if you want to. And then I'm just going to offset it by 1 inch. We'll do some trimming. And connect these lines. I think I'd rather just move this like that. Copy, because technically it wouldn't have that kind of an angle to it. So, but you're free to create whatever sort of symbol you like. And let's see if I rotate this out just a little bit more. So and we want that to line up. Okay, so that's my symbol, and I can make a block out of that if I want to and have that for future reference, but that's what your bifold door would basically look like. And last but not least, I want to change that to the door layer, so I'm going to go ahead and select all pieces of it and turn it to the door layer. So basically we are complete with our plan as far as I can tell. What's left to do is the fireplace, add the kitchen, put in the lines for the shelf and rod for your closets, and those would go on the cabinet layer. So with the kitchen cabinets and the hidden lines for the upper cabinets, that would all go on your cabinet layer. I'm going to erase what's left over of my window. And I'll show you just real quick the process to get that fireplace put in. So we're going to do some offsetting. So offset, and we're going to offset this outer wall by 1 foot 6 inches. So 1 foot 6. And then we are going to offset 4 foot 4 inches. This line. And then offset it again 4 feet. And if we trim away everything, you'll see that that's the basic outer box for your fireplace. Offset again. I believe that the fireplace itself, those little walls are supposed to be 4 inches. So we'll do this. And now you can use that fillet command, set radius to 0, and you can create that corner with the fillet command. Okay, so there's a 6-inch difference between where this ends and where the actual fireplace opening is on the inside. So let's go ahead and offset 6 inches. And then extend this to the wall on the inside. And we'll repeat the offset 6 inches. Oops, not on that end. Offset again 6 inches here, and extend that one out. Escape. Okay, so this is just giving us an idea of where that angle needs to start. So we don't know exactly what the angle is. They don't give it to us. So we're just going to make something up here. So again, in the Home tab, we're going to click on the line command. And starting here, we're going to do a little bit of an angle. I'm just going to drag it all the way through. And then I want to mirror it to the other side. And so this will give us a good midpoint. So we can mirror it and notice that it did line up with that offset there. And then we have some 2-inch offsets to do. So we're going to offset this by 2 inches. And then another 2 inches. And then these get offset by 2 inches. Now we can do some trimming and clean this all up. So we can erase this line. We don't need it anymore. And then we can do the fillet command with radius set to 0 and start fillet these corners. And then we want to trim away these extra little pieces here and here, and then use this to trim away the opening. And then just this other little line needs to go here and here. Okay, so I think that that's pretty much going to be the best we can do. Oh, I can also trim this here. Without all of the information, this is about the best it's going to look. So, all right, so go ahead and save your work. And in the next video, we'll be finishing up and creating a block so that we can continue with all the other plans that we need to make for this project. Thanks a lot. See you in video number 4. Bye.